Hello, it's Jim Hutchins for the Jerusalem Connection Truth Report for this 10th day of May, 2017. 2 weeks from today, President Trump will be making his first foreign trip. He'll be going to Saudi Arabia, head of the Muslim world. He'll be going to Jerusalem, Israel, the head of the world of Judaism, and he'll be making a visit to the Pope in the Vatican. This could be a very, very significant visit, especially with regard to Israel. He is making this trip to Israel on the 50th anniversary of the Six-Day War, and his speech will be a historic landmark. There's no question about it. President Trump confirmed Thursday morning at the National Day of Prayer that he'd be visiting Saudi Arabia, Israel, and Rome. Trump's overseas trip, his first overseas trip, as president, indicates special support for America's top Middle East ally, Israel, since it coincides with the 50th anniversary of the Six-Day War, where Israel took Jerusalem for the first time, really, in 2,000 years. Israel regained control of Jerusalem during the war, and the timing leads some to speculate that President Trump could use the occasion to announce he's moving the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. You see, Congress approved the Jerusalem Embassy Act in 1995. And it declared Jerusalem to be the capital of Israel and calling for the U.S. Embassy to be moved there. As a political compromise, a provision was included that allowed the President of the United States to delay moving the embassy due to national security considerations. And that waiver has been signed every 6 months by each president since 1995. President Donald Trump has promised he will move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. And what would be more appropriate than on this 50th anniversary of the taking of Jerusalem under Israeli control, that he would make this statement. I think this has the possibility of being a monumental game changer, a game changer of biblical proportion. It will for sure create a response, worldwide response on the part of all nations, positive and negative, certainly negative. And so I want to ask you that you would pray. I want you to pray fervently for boldness, for courage, for the undergirding of God's Spirit for the President as he visits there, and that he would indeed be emboldened to make these necessary statements. Number one, that he would declare that Jerusalem is the undivided capital of Israel, and that he would, in fact, keep his promise of moving the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. And while he's at it, I would suggest that he would show his support for the annexation of the Golan Heights in the north that Israel took during the Six-Day War as well. It's a strategic, tactical importance for Israel's defense. And then while he's at it, annex the Judean Samaria, the heartland of Israel, euphemistically called the West Bank. This would take great courage, and we pray that God would in fact embolden him. I'm thinking of the prayer that's the admonition, actually, it's given to us in Isaiah chapter 62, verse 6. God says, I have posted watchmen on your walls, O Jerusalem. Watchman is a metaphor for an intercessory prayer warrior. These are intercessors, they're prayers. I've posted these intercessory prayer warriors on your walls, O Jerusalem, who will never be silent day or night. You who make mention of Yahweh, you who call on the name of Yahweh, give yourselves no rest, and give him no rest until he establishes Jerusalem and makes her a praise in all the earth. That's the prayer that we're called to pray on behalf of Jerusalem, and especially on behalf of the president as he goes to Jerusalem on the 22nd of May. Pray that Jerusalem will become the praise in all the earth that God has declared. And that is the truth.